What's up, everybody? I just wanted to start out with a quick word from me. Sorry that I haven't dropped an episode here in the last couple weeks. I've been kind of busy and I'm not going to make a whole bunch of excuses or anything like that, but they'll probably be a little bit more infrequent now, which is what it is. But anyway, uh, that's besides the point. If you are watching this video right now and you've listened to this first 10 seconds, 15 seconds of me talking, watch the entire thing. I'm telling you, like this is the most real thing that I have ever done. And this is part of the reason why I got into this realm anyway. I wanted to give people the opportunity to share their story. And Marcus's is one that's one of a kind, but also still very relatable for so many of us. This, other than the graphics that I added on there, the phone numbers that you'll see, this interview is completely and totally unedited. Unedited, it's raw, it's him telling his story, and you see that while he's going through it. He doesn't glorify the things that he's been through. He's just focused on the progress that he's made, and his whole entire life changed because he was finally not afraid to reach out. Their phone numbers included Marcus's, the guy who he called, the detox center that he went to, everything like that. His Instagram, reach out to me, reach out to him. If we can make a difference and if we can find one person help through this, then it was completely and totally worth it. But and you hear him say this throughout the whole thing, you're not alone. There are other people that struggle too. Reach out, talk to somebody, call a number, get help. It's there. Okay, here we go. All right, we now welcome on to Grant and guest, my buddy Marcus Bishop. Marcus, what's going on, man?
Chilling, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. I've been good. You look good. I meant to say that a minute ago when we hopped on here, but you look good, man, for real.
I feel good, man.
Dude, it's crazy to see you now for the first time in forever after really the last time I saw you, you were kind of overweight hooping in the fitness center, you know what I mean? But
Still have my shirt off.
still and still getting buckets too. Still getting buckets too. But so I wanted to have Marcus on today because actually, to be completely honest, Marcus reached out to me and I just thought it was a really, really cool opportunity to get somebody on here who's got a really, really interesting story and was willing to like get into some of the deeper stuff, the deeper aspects of life and struggles and what can happen when you finally go and get the help that you need. Because I think the biggest thing, and I think you'd agree too, is like we all go through struggles and everybody deals with them differently. And sometimes when people go through those struggles, that's how they end up kind of where it sounds like you were for a pretty good while in your life. So, like talk to us about that. Tell everybody where you're at now and kind of what you've got going on. And I'm excited to hear it.
I appreciate you for having me. And
Absolutely.
actually, but man, I moved to Pompano Beach, Florida. Actually, South Florida. It's huge. Uh,
A lot
South
different,
Florida has
lot different than
South
Fort.
Florida. Yeah, has three counties, and South Florida is bigger than the whole state of Arkansas. So
Oh,
if that tells you anything.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, I'm doing good. Working on a golf course at a restaurant. I have my
Okay.
own studio now. But so I'm basically just gonna talk about what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now, basically.
Absolutely.
So a background of when it started, events, what led to it, and then I'm gonna try to get into a little bit of mental health because some people don't take it seriously when it's kind of a big thing nowadays
Oh,
because
absolutely.
mental health leads to addiction. And
Hmm.
I've been doing a lot of research, and I see it all the time. People, pills, whatever it is. There's people our age, people younger than us that are they don't know what they're taking. They
Right.
think it's something, but they die 12 hours later.
Right.
So, and I just wanted to get on here and maybe change somebody's life, or maybe they'll reach out and get help like I did.
Absolutely. That would be, I mean, if even one person reaches out to you after this or reaches out to me on how to get in contact with you or whatever it is, that's huge. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
Like,
I have connections. They can always call me. Um, I have a good support network that is always looking to help people.
mm,
They want it. That's their job, is
right.
to keep people alive, basically.
Yeah.
But I'll start whenever you're ready.
Yeah, man. Go ahead. Tell us where all this stuff started. So, like, did all this stuff
Uh,
start in high school, or where did?
no, it's actually I'm gonna start way back, way
Oh,
back. So it's basically a life story.
yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear it, man.
uh,
We're here. We're all
so
ears.
I grew up in Cedarville, Arkansas, population of 1,100. You know that. Nothing there really.
Yeah.
School, gas station, just the country.
Yep.
Uh, I was put up for adoption when I was three months old. So growing up, I had 8 siblings on my adopted side. That's the only family I knew.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so growing up, I'm the youngest boy, and I grew up with three sisters in the house. And my dad's a truck driver, so obviously I'm like the man of the house or whatever you want to call it nowadays.
Yeah.
Uh, I learned a lot. But I always had this feeling that I was an outcast and like I wasn't, good enough or whatever.
Yeah.
So when I turned about, well, actually, I'll take it even a little deeper. We went on a camping trip one summer when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And I thought my brother's Coca-Cola, or I thought my brother's beer was a Coca-Cola, and I ended up chugging it and threw up afterwards, was sick, but I always had this little thing in my head telling me like I'm gonna try that again one day because
Yeah.
that's what I grew up around, brothers that drink,
Right.
whatever, socialize.
Yeah.
So I knew I was gonna try it again. Well, then, you know, I'm still the youngest boy, obviously that doesn't change, and I hang out with my brothers on weekends at a young age, and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith was the spot they hung out at, car washes.
Yeah.
So I seen a lot of drugs and females, half naked or whatever at a young age. So I'm like, I never wanted to try it because I just, I thought these people were just crazy.
Right.
So uh, then my oldest sister, she had her little run and she did her thing, and I seen her go away, go away, go away, but it never clicked what was going on.
Yeah.
Then I turned about 13, and that's when I noticed I'm darker than these people, basically.
Yeah.
And I started
I
asking.
was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you, man, like really get into that, like what it's like, because for people listening that don't know, like Cedarville, like everybody in Cedarville is as white as I am, country bumpkin, never left Cedarville from there, everything like that. And that's not you. That's not you.
Yeah,
Like, what was that like?
it was weird. I remember in third grade, um, I went to Van Buren until third grade, and then
Okay.
I moved to Cedarville School
Yeah.
District, and then and it was weird, man. It was like cowboy boots, cut off shirts, whatever they wore, and I already knew right then like I'm different. I'm different
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
And I ended up moving back to Van Buren until eighth grade, actually,
Hmm.
yeah, after Christmas break of eighth grade. So I finished eighth grade year and go back, and that's when Coach Tinkley's actually first year
Yeah.
was ninth grade. So, but yeah, it was different, but a lot of good people. It's a homey feeling when you go back. But anyways, so when I was 12 or 13, I started asking questions like, "I'm brown, like what's going on?" And my adoptive parents didn't really want to tell me the truth. Uh, I'll get into it later of why, but there was always the name Lori. She would come on Christmas or birthdays or holidays.
Mhm.
Her name was just Lori growing up.
Yeah.
Finally, I found out I was adopted, and so for people that don't know about adoption or anything, not all people go through it, but it does trigger something that makes you feel abandoned, like you're not wanted. Why would somebody give me up? Uh, why can't I have my biological mom, biological dad?
Now,
And we get
I can't even imagine how hard that would be finding that out in like middle school, early high school kind of age, because you're still trying to figure out who the heck you are. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you're still
exactly,
trying to figure out
exactly.
what your identity is. We grew up playing basketball and stuff. And so it's like that's part of your identity for a while. And you're just trying to figure all that stuff out in middle school. And then to be told that you're adopted, man, like I can't imagine how tough that would be.
Yeah, so there was a lot of questions and a lot of in betweens, but
Mhm.
I lived basically like two different lifestyles. So it was like get the grades done in school, do my schoolwork, but then it was like I want to be the cool kid. So it was like hang out with my brothers and go to school and brag like, oh, I stayed out till 2 in the morning, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I did this, I did that.
Mhm.
So then it gets into middle school or junior high, high school, and start hanging out with friends and going at my other parents. My dad's always gone. My mom just let me know where you're at, so I'm doing my thing with school and basketball. But at
Mhm.
night, I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
At times, I would be gone for weeks, staying at friends' house and
Yeah.
drinking and socializing, whatever.
Yeah.
But obviously, I played basketball throughout high school, and that was my number one priority.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I didn't really drink that often, but when I did, it was on weekends, and we whatever bonfires, swimming, whatever. So then I graduate high school and I go, to Ecclesia and play for not even a year or whatever
Yeah.
because alcohol consumed me. We're right there by Fayetteville, party, 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 and I remember when the one of the I guess professors came into the room, found a garbage can of bag. It was one of them big like 15-gallon bags full of beer cans, and that's when I basically got kicked out
Yeah.
and quit, came back and moved transferred to UFIS. Because I remember talking to you and
Yeah.
saying you're gonna play on our intramural team, me and Tim, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then I go to UFIS and join the fraternity Kappa Sig, um, and I thought I was on top of the world. I'm in a fraternity,
Yeah.
but I'm still drinking
Right.
uh, a lot
Yeah.
actually. But I always wore this mask. So like Marcus would be happy, go lucky, hyper, go to
Right.
the gym.
Man, you
But
like, yeah, for real. I mean, it's weird to think that there are gonna be people that watch this that like don't know you, but like dead serious, man. Like I've never seen you walk into a room and not be able to make somebody laugh. Like that was what like that was the version of you that that was the reason that we played on those intramural teams together and the reasons that we did all that stuff and hung out and like did it like it was just because you knew Marcus was always gonna come in, bust somebody up, like start laughing and just get it and like yeah, you were just really hype all the time. And but like you said, that's one mask of it. So like talk about that other side. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there
no,
because
you're good. You're
yeah,
good.
like it's like
That's
it's
that's
hilarious.
the thing that I wanted to give people because you never know what somebody's going through. We hear it all the time, but it's true.
Yep.
So I wore a mask really well, and but when it came down to the lights off, laying in bed and not sleeping or just thinking,
Hmm.
uh, it really got lonely and depressing.
Yeah.
And I drank to cope,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that mental issues, or they lead you to cope, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's sex, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, you're trying to fill a void
Yep.
that's there, and what I chose was alcohol, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Um, and so it got to the point where I was drinking a lot more than just weekends,
Yeah.
and I was drinking so I could laugh. I was drinking so I made friends because I always had this feeling like if I don't drink and I'm not drunk, then I'm not gonna make somebody laugh or I'm not gonna
Right.
feel wanted.
Yeah.
But that all boils back down to me feeling not wanted at an early age.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and then depression just comes because you're lonely. You feel lonely inside. But I could be out at the Cowboy or JJ's, drunk, playing pool, looking happy, but I'm killing myself inside. Like I'm
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
But anyways, so college was college. We
Yep.
drank, we played basketball, we had fun, gambled, whatever. I graduate college and still working at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Um, I actually move in with um, who did it? I moved actually back home for a little bit
Yeah.
and was sneaking alcohol in because my dog parents are no drinking, no
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I had to sneak it, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I moved in with some friends, and it was work, go blow my money on alcohol,
Yeah.
or every
Man,
day the same thing.
I've I've worked in the service industry too, man, and like that environment the environment in the service industry does not help with any of that stuff either.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
everybody does it. Everybody's got their thing in the service industry, and it's not a knock on it because most of them are like at their core are good people, same way as you. It's good people, but it's like they've all got their thing to cope, and everybody's is a little bit different. But it's not an environment that's going to make you be the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
But
So college I had a lot of good memories drinking, and
yeah,
it was one of those things like that's what we did to have a fun time. It's Fort Smith, Arkansas. There's nothing to do. But then it got real bad. Moved in. I was working and just drinking every day. And 4 years ago, July 6, 2017, my brother died.
man,
I remember him calling me the night of, and he wanted to go out, but I was already drunk, and I said I'm going home. I have work in the morning. Roommate or my sister called me and wakes me up. Billy just died, and I remember punching a hole in the wall. And so after that, depression really hit because it was a guilt shame feeling like I should have been there. It should have been me. I should have went hung out with them. This wouldn't have happened.
right.
What if that? That doesn't cope well. So
Yeah.
really, it was from that day on till I actually surrendered and said I needed help. It was everyday drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying a couple of drinks a day. It was every day. I was an alcoholic. It wasn't me drinking because I liked the taste of it. It was me to forget,
Yep.
just to wake up the next day and open a can and drink again.
Yeah.
Um, so then it was move back home, move back in with somebody where I could drink every day, to the point where I had the cops called on me like 4 times because of suicide thoughts. Because I would drink and I would start thinking about my brother.
Right.
I wouldn't think about him if I wasn't drinking, but then when I started drinking, which was every day, all day, just made it worse.
Yeah.
So I moved. The last time I moved back in with my parents, I was still sneaking in alcohol. Um, they caught me and basically showed me tough love, and that was, you need to find somewhere to go. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of seeing this.
Yeah.
And I slept at Dunkin' Donuts for like four nights,
Mm.
right there behind Texas Roadhouse.
Holy.
And the manager and had woke me up 3 of the 4 nights or 4 of the 5 nights and asked me if I wanted a donut and coffee, and I would say no because my pride was so high.
Yeah.
But and on that fifth day, I was starving, and I was literally starving. So I knocked on the door and was like, "Can I please have a donut?" And she said, "Yeah." Well, after that happened, I found my biological mom. I messaged her on Facebook and said, can I sleep on your couch for a couple of nights?" She she welcomed me with open arms. And the last time I seen her was when I was 16, 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And I moved in with her and slept on her couch. And then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna find somewhere else to go." And she's like, "No, you stay here until you're ready to go."
Yeah.
And she gave me a lot of, so I got her. So throughout this whole time, I have my adopted parents telling me, "Lori, she doesn't want to see you. She doesn't want this. She doesn't want that."
Yeah.
Then I move in with her and I get her side of the story. She was 15 when she had me. Basically, she's young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she wanted me to have a better life.
Yeah.
So now I understand why I was adopted.
Right.
So I was holding resentments towards my biological mom, or
Right.
because of what these people told me. But now I'm holding resentments towards them because they lied to me. But now that I have successfully graduated this program and have a great therapist, they had a fear of me leaving them, so they have to do whatever they have to do to keep me.
Right.
They don't want me to leave them. They raised me.
Yeah.
I understand it. I understand it now, but
Right.
that but anyways, I get the full story. So I continue to drink every day, and I
Like
actually
what? So you
am.
you continue to drink like while you were at your biological mom's?
Yes, every day. And it's weird because everybody knew I was, maybe they thought or knew I was going through stuff, but I was drunk 24/7, no matter what it was. I had to be drunk before I did it. Ruined a lot of relationships. it took my little sister, who's my rock, to not answer my calls anymore, not answer my texts. All these people that loved and cared about me to distance themselves. And I sleeping at Dunkin' Donuts, I surrendered and was like, I need help.
Yeah.
But I didn't do anything about it when I moved in with my biological mom. I just kept drinking because she wasn't telling me what to do.
Right.
You're a grown man, you can make your own decisions.
Yeah.
And my stepdad, he helped a lot. He actually started working with me. I started working with Tops Decorative Concrete.
Okay.
That's Connor's dad, Connor Gardner's dad.
Oh, okay. Got
Awesome. So he gave me like a second chance, and I was working with him, but they didn't know. They didn't know I had a problem. They knew I drank because they smelt it a couple of mornings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was still drinking every day, and I'm kind of backtracking all over the place right
No,
now. I'm
you're good,
sorry,
man. No, you're good.
but I had lost my faith a little bit when my brother died.
Right.
Why'd you do this? Why?
Right.
But by God's grace, man, my cousin lives in Miami, Kinsey. She she has some clean time, and she calls me, and I never answer the phone calls that I don't know, like the number.
Yeah.
But I happened to answer, and I was drunk, and she said, Marcus, and I said, who is this? She said, it's Kinsey, your cousin, and I have help for you. And I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I know you have a drinking problem. I have help. Are you drunk? And I said, no, I'm not drunk. And she said, just write this number down and please call it if you ever want help or if you think like you're ready.
Yeah.
The next day, I ended up calling the guy, and
How long ago was this?
she called me um, uh, December, right before December, actually, last year, 2020.
120. Yeah.
And so I guess it was like, right at December
Yeah.
1st.
So she
But
calls you, she calls you the next day, you call that number, and then what?
no, she called me the night before, and then I called that number the next day.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and it was a guy from Florida who works at it's a place called the Beaches. But he
Mhm.
got me in contact with another guy named Lee, and he starts asking me about insurance. And I'm an alcoholic, dude. I don't have insurance. I don't have health insurance. I don't have a car. I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm just drinking every day, working and drinking, working and drinking.
Yeah.
So uh, I'm like, dude, I want help. He's
Yeah.
like, are you able to come to Florida? I said, I don't have no health insurance. I'm broke. He said, all right, let's focus on getting you health insurance. So it took about a month process to get my insurance that would, cover treatment or whatever.
Mhm.
So that took about a month. That month, while that month's going on, I'm still drinking every day, and I'm in contact with this guy every other day. And he's like, you just keep drinking because I don't want you to have a withdrawal and seize up, because
Yeah.
alcohol, I don't know if people know, but an alcohol withdrawal is one of the worst because you can seize up and die. Benzos and alcohol are probably the worst withdrawal you can have
Huh.
because you can literally die, and that's just a fun fact for you. But but
So
yeah,
that's
so
great. That's crazy to me though. I won't talk about it for very long, but that's crazy to me that he was like you were in contact with this guy for a month and he was telling you to still continue to drink. Like
he
or
wasn't
not,
telling me to get blacked
yeah.
out, but
But
he
he wasn't telling you like, hey, try to quit now before you get here to Florida either. You know.
yeah,
Sorry,
but
I just thought that was kind
he
of
was
crazy, but it makes sense. Like when you say that, like the season up and died thing, it's like you definitely need to be in somebody's care for that. Because if you tried to go through that on your own, like living on somebody's couch or whatever you're doing, oh my God,
exactly.
that
And
could have been horrible for you.
actually, I guess it would be almost 3 years ago, I did have a seizure and I didn't know what it was from.
Mm,
And that's when I think I tried to quit on my own for a little bit.
yeah,
And I seized up at this little diner I was working at.
yeah,
And but yeah, I did have a history of seizures.
yeah.
But anyways, so it takes a month for this insurance to go through. And
Mhm.
once it goes through, I text him, I said it's through. I hop on a plane January 7th out of Fayetteville, and I adopted mom actually picks me up and takes me up there. And I've never flown before, so I was scared.
That's
So I was
crazy.
flying to Dallas Fort Worth. Then from Dallas, I fly to Miami, and I get to Miami, and I have to walk like a mile to the baggage claim,
Yeah.
and I have to pee so bad. I'm in the bathroom, and the guy calls me and was like, "You're gonna look for a big guy with a Nike shirt." I'm like, "A big guy with a Nike shirt in Miami airport? Okay, whatever."
That's like half the people in there.
Exactly. So I walk to the baggage claim and I
Yeah.
see the dude like a sore thumb. And I
Yeah.
walk up to him and he's like, "Are you Marcus?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we get my bag and I sit in the back of the van. And it's like an hour and a half drive to where I'm going, Riviera Beach. It's
Yeah.
like West Palm Beach, but a little north.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go to detox. I did my intake at like 2:30 in the morning, so it's like January 8th.
Yeah.
And that saved my life, bro. That was the best decision I ever made.
So
And
I haven't had a sip since then.
my last beer was at Dallas Forward. I bought two Michelob Ultras for $16.
Man, that's
So
crazy.
Jay,
Hey, so
yeah,
you're coming up on 5 full months sober.
yes,
That's awesome, bro.
no, not one sip.
I love that. That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
it's just you know, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. Like, there's no telling where I'd be.
Hmm.
I get regained a lot of my faith, and in this last 5 months, I accomplished. I'm not gonna brag, but I'm gonna tell you what I
Oh,
accomplished
brag.
in the last
Hey,
5 months.
hey, brag on yourself, bro. Like you
So
deserve.
I get so January 8th is my sobriety date.
Yeah.
Um, I did 22 days of detox and res. Then I go to Stewart, Florida for 15 days of PHP level of care. And then I come to Pompano Beach for 3 months of IOP, OP. And so detox and res, I'm basically on this property with 8 foot walls around me, and the only way in and the only way out is with a code. 22 days there. Then for 15 days, I'm on this property with actual houses and four roommates.
Yeah.
Can't leave property, but I do go to clinical like school. It's
Yes.
like 8 in the morning until 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Uh, and then when I get to Pompano, I have a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
I'm in ILP level of care. And then I do that for about a month. And then I go to OP care and I get a job. I have a little bit more freedom. I
Yeah.
can just walk off campus, just let them know I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I start working. So then I meet this therapist, and I learned a little bit. I learned a lot actually in detox and res, a lot more than probably most people do. But
Yeah.
um, I was open minded and willing to learn. Because when
Yeah.
I first got to detox, I forgot to tell you, I judged people. I looked at
Oh
people and was like,
yeah.
"I'm better than you. I don't need
Yeah.
to be here. I don't know."
Right.
And it took the group facilitator one day to tell me to sit down, shut up, and listen, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you think you have it all, you really don't, because man, when I opened my mind and took suggestions, not them telling me what to do, but do
Yeah.
maybe try this. It really changed my life.
Yeah.
So in these 5 months, I paid off all my legal troubles from Arkansas,
Yeah.
and it's been 2 years ago since I got my DWI.
Yeah.
Paid all that off. Uh, I actually have my license, my classes I got to take to get my driver's license back June 17th and 18th.
Nice.
I bought a car. It's in Arkansas, but I bought a car,
Yeah.
and I just last Monday I bought this studio. I didn't buy it, but I mean I'm
You renting
renting
it.
it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I've already paid off all of June. So I forget. I'll tell you, when I came to detox, I had two pairs of sweats, two pairs of shorts, 5 pairs of underwear, 5 pairs of socks, and a pair of tennis shoes. Phone charger that they took. I didn't have a dime to my name.
Yeah.
Uh, and now I have. And it's not even about material things.
You got a lot of good stuff going on for you, man. You got a lot
Yeah, I
going
mean,
on for you. So
a lot of another.
sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that if if you believe it just a little bit,
Yeah.
just a little bit, if you just believe in a higher power, it'll go a long ways.
Yeah.
And meditation works really well.
Do you feel like you just opening your mind was like the biggest factor in you getting to where you're at now? Like,
Yes, I
like,
honestly believe if I wasn't open-minded throughout the whole thing and stayed stubborn and didn't want to listen, I would have got nowhere. I would have been in and out of treatment. They call it the South Florida Shuffle. They
yeah,
go to detox, PHP to PHP
yep,
because they don't want to listen or take suggestions. And
right,
now I have a sponsor who has a couple years clean and talk to him every day.
mm-hmm,
He doesn't tell me what to do. He doesn't uh, force me to do anything. He gives me suggestions. And there's this 12-step program that we work on, and I'm on the fourth step, and that's where you have to do a thorough moral inventory of yourself.
yeah,
Um, I mean, from all your resentments to fears to
yeah,
what you did in your life. And I'm not gonna say it was the easiest thing I've ever done in my life, but it's the best thing I've ever did in my life.
yeah. Man, that's the, I mean, it really is crazy. So, you've got all this stuff going on, and I know you said you bought a car and it's back in Arkansas and your driver's test and stuff. So, do you feel like you're at a place now where you're ready to leave Florida, or do you even want to leave?
No, I'm not leaving. I'm actually gonna stay in Pompano.
Good,
I am gonna come back and visit.
good.
I might come. I might just wait till around Christmas time and come back just for from the 23rd to the
Yeah,
26th because I'm not gonna stay too long.
right,
But yeah, it's best for me to stay.
right.
Uh, I'm back on good terms with a lot of people.
Hmm.
Talk to my sister a lot now. Again,
Yeah,
thank God.
that's good.
Uh, I talk to my parents, both sides.
Hmm.
Uh, I have a good. I go to AA meetings all the time. I have a good support network, good connections.
Yeah,
Um, I am in the restaurant business again on a golf course,
yeah,
but I have no desire or no cravings to
that's awesome.
want to drink anymore because I have my priorities straight and I know that um it wasn't even the alcohol that was it was so easy putting down alcohol that
Right,
I don't even want to taste it anymore. You
right.
know, it's just because I wasn't even drinking it for the taste. I was drinking it to literally black out, and but there's
But
a lot of good people here.
yeah, and that's awesome. Like, I mean, it really like what you were saying, like the open-mindedness aspect of it was like is really cool to me, like the way that you described that and everything, because like, like drinking and everything, that clouds your judgment. That makes everything really foggy, and it makes that stuff foggy so you can try to get away from it. And then now it looks like it sounds like you're really willing to just like listen. And I think it's really cool that you got a sponsor that's willing to listen to you also, because sometimes all you need is just to know that you got some people in your corner. And it sounds like you're starting to get people back in your corner as well, which is really cool, because nobody should ever have to go through the stuff that you've been through alone. Nobody.
Yeah, it's I just honestly I just wanted to be on your podcast just to let people know that there is help and
Mm,
and don't be afraid to ask for help because nobody can help you until you want help. And I had to learn that the hard way.
right.
No matter how many times somebody told me, Marcus, you need help, that's almost enabling them to drink more because my mind, I was so sick that I'm saying, no, I'm going to prove to you that I'm okay by drinking more and being okay.
Right.
So uh, when I learned that, it's not about me reaching out to people and saying, go get help, and pushing it down your throat.
Right.
It's about saying it's okay and to surrender. There are people that will help you. And for somebody to judge you for getting help, that's on them. You don't have to worry about them. Like
Absolutely.
for anybody that wants to judge somebody for trying to get better and trying to start a new life,
Yeah.
because addiction just doesn't just happen. You don't just say wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm gonna drink every day." There's stuff that's what I wanted to talk about mental health. Like it it does trigger
Right.
coping skills, and
Right.
mine happen to be alcohol, which I mean,
But
I'm not gonna say I'm glad it's alcohol, but
yeah.
because I could have died, but
Right. But I mean,
uh,
the reality is that addiction is addiction, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs,
mhm.
whether, like whatever it is, there's there's something that with it that just grips you, that makes it where you can't seem to get past it. And even the mental health aspect of it is like, you factor in anxiety and depression and all that sort of stuff. It's still the same sort of thing. It's like cool. I mean, not cool, but like anybody can sit there and admit or say that they have anxiety or depression, but like what are you doing to help yourself. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
what are you gonna be willing? And that's what you said, and that's why I like the way that you put it, is like you just got to be willing to reach out and actually get that help. Because if you're just sitting here blasting out on social media, oh, I have depression, or oh, I have anxiety, or whatever, it's like, okay, like what are your Twitter followers going to do for that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What are your friends on Facebook going to do for that? They're not going to do nearly as much for you as if you're willing to reach out to actually the right people. And
Exactly.
it sounds like down there in Florida, that's exactly what you did.
It's also about I was scared. I was really scared to move. All I knew was Arkansas,
Yeah.
and change of people and location was a huge factor. And the people I hang around with are not, they're just not the same as people I was hanging around in Arkansas.
Right.
Not that the people in Arkansas are bad, but the environment that I was around all
Yeah.
the time. It's like going into a room full of 10 drunks. You're going to end up drunk.
Right.
You
Yeah.
go into a room of full of sober people, you're probably going to stay sober.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, and I've been posting a lot more on Facebook and Instagram I'm trying to, show people that like there is change. I hate the fact that some people know me as an alcoholic,
Right.
but that's the past,
Right.
Um, and one good therapist in detox told me one time before I left, where there's pain, there's purpose. And so all that pain that I went through in life, I believe, led me to where I am now. And
Right.
I'm not going to say I'm successful now, but do I have a peace of mind? Am I happy? Yes, I can
Yeah.
truly say that I'm happy and I don't have to wear a mask anymore.
Yep. That's awesome, man. I love that. Um, but dude, thank you for real, like for just getting on here and like sharing it, because I know this can't be easy, and I know, like you said, this is the first time you've done it in like this format, and then the only other people you've really shared it with is really not very many people. And so like for me, man, like as your friend, like this is a blessing to be able to like get to give you the opportunity to do this, because like I mean, this has been helpful for me, man. Like, it's like there's probably some stuff that I really need to like evaluate in my life and the stuff going on, like for real. And I hope, like, if even one person reaches out, whether it's to me or to you, or it calls a 1-800 number or something like that, and reaches out and gets the help that they need, man, that's all that you can ask. Because if it weren't for somebody doing that for you, you probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to me right now. You know,
Exactly.
like,
Exactly.
but for real, man, like seriously, like thank you. Like seriously.
Yo, thank you, bro. Thanks for having me. And
Dude, absolutely, man.
man, call me whenever, bro. You have my number. Just call me
Yeah,
whenever. We'll talk.
absolutely. I almost, when you this is the last thing and then we'll hop off here. But when you texted me, I almost was like, it took me a second, because it just had been a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it took me a second. I didn't have that. I don't know if this is a new number or what, but I didn't have it. And so I was like thinking, there was this little eighth grader that played basketball for us this year, and I was like, and his name was Marcus, and I was like, nah, that's not it. I was like, that wouldn't be a 9 phone number. And then when it clicked for me, I was like, dude. And then you reached out. I was like, man, this sounds like a perfect opportunity to get to share a freaking awesome story. And it really was a freaking awesome story. So,
for
um,
sure.
you got any one last thing you want to say before we hop off here?
I don't, man. I just that one. Just need one, man. And I really appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right. Well, this has been Grant and Guest episode 5, I believe. I'm a little behind. I can't remember, but uh, with Marcus Bishop. Marcus, appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you later.
Always.
All right. See ya.
See you.